We're all so excited to have you here for the launch of the Spark Pullur Centre. This is a first of its kind, 20,000 square feet, purpose-built co-working and community space for social entrepreneurs. Bangalore's renowned builder, Total Environment, partnered with the Nudge Foundation to build this state-of-the-art center housed on the fifth floor of Pursuit of a Radical Rhapsody building in Whitefield, Bangalore. May I please invite Colonel Harbir Pannu, who oversees security for Total Environment, to briefly apprise us of the safety protocols of this venue.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Colonel Harbir Pannu, and I'm heading the security vertical of Total Environment. On behalf of Kamal Sagar and Shibani Sagar on this beautiful Valentine Days, I extend a warm welcome to all of you at Tower 9, Pursuit of a Radical Rhapsody. We are grateful for the presence and support of the Nudge Foundation, and we acknowledge the association with this evening's gathering. Before we proceed further, may I request your attention for a brief moment to cover some important safety announcement. While every care has been taken to ensure that there are no hiccups, however, in the event of any unforeseen circumstances, you may hear an alarm. Kindly do not panic. Please do not use the escalators that time. We have fire exits marked, and I shall indicate them. There are 3 of them. One is on my left here. One is where you entered the lobby, that side, and one is in the workspace on the far right corner as I'm looking at it. These all will lead you to the ground floor, where there are 3 assembly places. My boys are there. They will take care of you, and you will get further instruction from them if and when the need arises. Restrooms are available for persons with disabilities, ladies and gentlemen, and I look at it, they are on your right. Volunteers and service staff is available to help you and guide you throughout the evening. And true to the spirit of the Radical Rhapsody, let the events of the evening and the conversations provide the energy. Thank you for your attention, and we wish you a delightful evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Gitanjali. I'm going to be your MC for the evening. Some spaces host events, some spaces host people, and some spaces are built to host momentum. Today, we are launching one such space. The Spark Pullur Centre is designed so that when ideas, capital, and community come together under one roof, progress accelerates. They say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes an entire ecosystem to raise a social venture. Tonight, the ecosystem just got a very beautiful address. I remember when I was starting off as an entrepreneur a long time back, the overwhelming feeling I experienced was that of being all alone. God bless you if you're a single founder. This center is built on a simple belief: social entrepreneurs should not have to build alone. Success goes up considerably if you have people to brainstorm with who have been there, done that. In short, when proximity increases, possibilities multiply. Before we go any further, we must begin where every good story begins, with someone who believed before there was anything to believe in. Someone who has dedicated his work to building platforms where opportunity meets aspiration. I will not embarrass him further with a longer introduction. I know he doesn't like it. So please please join me in welcoming Mr. Atul Satija, founder and CEO, The Nudge.
Thanks, Gitanjali. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for choosing to spend your Valentine's Day Saturday evening with all of us here. Really, really appreciate it. When we see a small shoot of green in a cement, on a sidewalk, or in a wall, we say nature is very resilient, and we celebrate it. But unfortunately, we don't see a forest in cement ever. Because forests require a very good thriving environment. You need sun, you need soil, you need water, etc. It was not very common 10, 15, 20 years back for the young top talent in India to choose to be an entrepreneur. Engineers, doctors, lawyers, artists, journalists, management graduates, people weren't choosing to be an entrepreneur at the rate at which they are today, even 10 years, 15 years, 20 years back. But that has changed. Why? Because the access to capital, access to mentors, access to spaces like this, access to fractional support services, access to co-working spaces, the whole ecosystem has made it easy for people to make that decision. It has not made entrepreneurship easy, but it has made success a little bit more probable than it used to be. Now, we know that has happened in the for-profit ecosystem. We see it on TV, we see it on print, we see it everywhere around us. But social entrepreneurship is no different. It is just a little bit harder. Harder because the talent pool is very small, the capital pool is also very small, and the supporting ecosystem around social entrepreneurs is actually very, very thin as well. We faced it firsthand. I started Nudge in 2015, and very quickly we realized that the work is very meaningful, right? You go back and have a great sleep because you're solving some important problems, and you have that sort of joy of work with you. But there were headwinds, and we realized that the lack of talent, capital, and environment was actually hurting us every day. And it was a heavier journey than it would have been if it was not a social enterprise or a social organization. We launched the Nudge Incubator based on that learning. Very soon we launched the Nudge Accelerator based on that learning. And between the incubator, accelerator, grand challenges, we started seeing that providing a little bit support to social entrepreneurs actually does a great deal. It makes their journeys less lonely. It makes their journeys more probable to find downstream impact. And more importantly, they found a community with which they can share their problems, find a shoulder, get access to mentors, get access to downstream capital, etc. And we saw that they were able to spend more time building and less time firefighting and worrying about the future viability and probability of even continuing. What we see here today is actually a physical manifestation of the same thing that we've been doing over the last 8 years. We've had the privilege of working with more than 250 social entrepreneurs over the last 8 years. Many of them have gone on to do really, really amazing things. Most of them do very, very important work and create impact on the ground meaningfully. So this physical manifestation, the idea behind this was, can you actually bring a lot of these services that you provide to entrepreneurs across the country in a scattered way, bring them together in a place where you can actually concentrate that support, that density, that ecosystem, so they actually can build much faster, much bigger, much sooner. This facility that you are seeing is the first manifestation of the Spark Center idea that we have. This is called the Spark Pullur Centre, thanks to Vijay Pullur and Nirmala Pullur, who actually contributed to bringing this idea to reality. Thank you. It's a 20,000 square feet facility. Half of the facility is on the other side, which is called Venture Commons, where social entrepreneurs can actually co-work, co-locate, co-host. And this 10,000 square feet is a configurable dialogue space. We can use this space for dialogues, book launches, trainings, workshops, roundtables, and conversations like this one. The simple idea is to provide a space where social entrepreneurs can actually come in, work with each other, rely on each other, help each other, and make each other's journeys slightly better, and have an ecosystem around them that makes their journeys better and more possible. I have a simple ask from all of you. If you are an entrepreneur, please use the facility, build here, and lean on the ecosystem we are trying to bring together for this. And if you are somebody who can support social entrepreneurship and their journeys journeys of these entrepreneurs, please come and contribute to this ecosystem. Whether you are a mentor, you have technical expertise, you can help them fundraise, you can help them hire, you can help them handle how to work with government, etc., etc. So with that, I'll take a pause here. And once again, thank you so much, Vijay, for believing in the idea, Nirmala for believing in the idea and bringing this to reality. We hope the space makes social entrepreneurship easier, because the work that they do is important for all of us to see a better society, not just a better economy. Thank you so much, and welcome once again to the Spark Pullur Centre. Thank you.
And now, to mark the official beginning of a space built for dialogue, discovery, and deep collaboration, may I invite our dignitaries and key partners to join us on stage for the inauguration and to light the ceremonial lamp. Can I please first call upon Mr. Vijay Pullur and Nirmala Pullur, the patrons for the Spark Centre. Vijay Pullur is the CEO and founder of Wavemaker, an agentic application development platform. He has been a successful entrepreneur for nearly 3 decades, launching several successful ventures valued by global software players like Accenture, Autodesk, and UKG. With his late brother Jay Pullur, he founded Pramati, a product company with a distinctive incubator model that guided ventures from conception to independence and exit. He's passionate about purpose-driven innovation that creates social impact. Under this philosophy, he also drives the leadership of OSAT, one school at a time, which uplifts rural and underprivileged schools. Nirmala Pullur, an alumna of the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Her career spans the telecommunications industry and academia, where she has contributed through research, teaching, and leadership roles. Guided by deeply held values of integrity, service, and social responsibility, she is currently devoted to initiatives that seek to create meaningful and lasting impact. I would like to next call upon Shibani Sagar, who's founded Shibani and Kamal Architects alongside her husband in 1996 with a belief that design is ultimately about relationships between people and between the natural world. She has brought that philosophy since to over 4.5 million square feet of handcrafted living spaces across India. Please welcome Shibani Kapoor. Samit Ghosh, next would like to call upon Samit, who spent 30 years mastering the language of banking, Citibank, Standard Chartered, HDFC, and then went on to build from scratch and founded Ujjivan and Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, institutions built on a simple but powerful belief that financial systems must work for those who have historically been left behind. I would like to next call upon Muthuraman sir, one of India's most respected corporate leaders, known for his years of leadership at Tata Steel and his continued contribution to institution building in the corporate and social sectors. He is one of the founding supporters at the Nudge. He's a Padma Bhushan awardee, former president of CII, and a man who always believed that business has a responsibility not just to shareholders but also to society. Ladies and gentlemen, the Spark Pullur Centre is now open. This centre exists because of a belief that physical infrastructure for change makers is as critical as financial capital, a belief championed by the founding patron of this centre. Can I please welcome Mr. Vijay Pullur to come and deliver his address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm delighted to be here at this inauguration of the Spark Centre which is going to provide a collaboration space for all the social entrepreneurs to scale and thrive and serve the community that is generally ignored in India. Entrepreneurship as such, right, is a very important part of any ecosystem. We know, I mean, it's become, when I started the company 30 years ago, it was not this fancy to be an entrepreneur. We were one of the very early guys. And entrepreneurs, now it's everybody wants to be. People talk about like, okay, the valuations and the billionaire clubs and all that kind of stuff, the great things that entrepreneurs bring. But what is the core essence, right? What exactly, why is this whole value so high? Why is entrepreneurship so much sought after world over? If you look at it, the simple things that they do, they bring innovation at a speed and scale that nobody else can. No governments, no large organization, no enterprises, no one else can do that as much as an entrepreneur can do. India particularly, and Bangalore as such, right, has done significantly well in putting this mark of entrepreneurship on the global map in the commercial side. The startups from Bangalore are, in India is very well known. We are probably in the top ranking countries for general entrepreneurship and startups. There is a need now for this kind of a revolution to happen in the social enterprise side. Social entrepreneurship is the most critical thing for the country to kind of bring everybody forward and move at the pace at which we are expecting to grow. And so I believe the social entrepreneurship is revolutionizing the social entrepreneurship space is more critical for the success of the country than anything else. And social entrepreneurs do face a lot of challenges. They actually sit in a very tight spot. In fact, the challenges start right up front, in terms of incorporating the company itself. Do you want to incorporate it as a non-profit, as a NGO, or do you want to make it as a for-profit company? They sit in a tight spot. They sit between established NGOs and commercial startups, so it's a very tight spot. Because NGOs, the established NGOs, have access to a lot of capital from CSR funds, the donations, various grant programs, and lots of high-value net worth individuals contributing who subscribe to those causes. And commercial startups, anyway, there is a very well-established venture capital structures, where startups can get funded and they can scale. For the social entrepreneurs, it is a challenge. The challenge is because attracting talent is difficult. Finding capital is difficult because actually the unpredictability of the profits, as well as the lower margin that they would price their services and offerings to make sure that it reaches the it's affordable for the larger community, right? Makes it so much hard for them to raise capital from the traditional venture capital structure. So this challenge, that is recruiting, making sure there is a vibrant environment in which they can operate, and there is funding for these startups to thrive, has to be solved. So if we have to scale the social entrepreneurship and do the same kind of a revolution bring about, right? This challenge needs to be solved. We have seen this kind of a similar sort of an example of how things scaled, if you look at the commercial side of the commercial enterprises, in the mid 2000s, these things called accelerators and incubators became very popular, and everybody knows about the Y Combinators and the Techstars that came up with the simple principle that if we put all the bright minds, if we put all the investor community, the mentors, the startups all together in a co-working space, they produce magic. And we have seen that happen. There are probably, just between the two names that I picked, Techstars and Y Combinator, there are probably over 100 unicorn companies that have been produced. We need to kind of somehow do that. And I personally believe that a vibrant space where all these bright minds can come together, and we provide an opportunity for mentors and investors and NGOs and all the social entrepreneurs to work together, probably they can crack this puzzle and the challenges that I talked about, and we will be able to bring about scale and social entrepreneurship in India to move the entire country forward much faster. Personally, like in fact, so why we came into this, right? Personally, we have always believed collaboration is key to bringing innovation. My late brother, Jay Pullur, like the founder of Pramati, he used to call this as the water cooler conversation. Of course, we started the company in Hyderabad, and so water cooler was more important than the coffee machine back then. And these conversations are very important, where ideas kind of get opened up rather than boardrooms. And in fact, he coined our intranet for informal collaboration as Corridor, which still operates in the company. And based off of the same idea, in fact, we spun out a company out of Pramati that was called Context in social collaboration space. And that was very successful and got acquired by Autodesk. So personally, we have always believed this kind of a collaborative environment is key to success, and it's key to bringing innovation at scale. So I'm very happy that whatever vision Atul, Amit painted to us, like when we first met, is coming to reality here. And thanks to Nudge Foundation to giving us an opportunity to be part of this journey, and we are really excited about this. And the first time I met Kamal, I realized this is the place, the passion he has for creating high quality spaces and, whatever else, of course, I'd seen in Bangalore. I said, we cannot expect anything more than the total environment building for something like this magic to happen here. And I'm hoping in the corridors and the rooms of this place, we will see many success stories come out and make this country very proud. And we'll be delighted to see that happen. So thank you very much. Thanks for participating, as Atul requested. All of you, everybody needs to contribute. If you have to make this whole revolution of social entrepreneurs become successful, all of us have to pitch in whatever ways we can. And please bring everything together, and let's go with this journey to make it successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pullur, for your belief in entrepreneurship, and especially social entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs and the impact they can make, and for supporting their journeys. Our next speaker is an architect and design entrepreneur who has spent decades creating people-centric environments that blend nature, craft, and community into everyday spaces. Please welcome Kamal Sagar, founder of Total Environment. Graduated from IIT Kharagpur in 1992 with a degree in architecture. After a short stint in the US, he returned to India and designed the Poonawalla stud farms in Pune. In 1996, I didn't know this. This is very interesting, and read about this just yesterday. In search for a one-bedroom apartment, he realized just how bad the state of large-scale housing projects was, and saw tremendous scope to make a difference in this area. He decided to take on the task of developing and constructing his projects himself, not just designing them, but also executing them, and founded Total Environment, a construction and real estate development company with his partner and wife, Shibani. Thank you. Can I please invite you over for your speech?
Thank you. Well, we started out to try and create spaces, largely homes, that with the vision that we create spaces that are inspiring, that with the connect with nature, with spaces that are actually designed around the people that use them, that hopefully we'll be able to inspire people to make a difference to the world. That was the big dream. But something like this where we actually build a space for people who are really making a difference to the world is, for me, very, very inspiring. And I think I met Atul a few years back, and I was just I almost fell off the chair I was sitting when he told me about the scale at which he is being able to make such a huge impact to our country. And I've always wanted to be involved in some way, not yet been able to do much, but this was an opportunity to be able to do something and be involved with Atul and to create the space. We are right next door, by the way, Atul. So you were talking about helping in any way. Be more than happy in whatever way to jump in to help. In any way possible. We are a walking distance from here, and for some time we're going to be in this building, so we can just come down. We have a company, so whatever people need help in any way possible, we'll definitely like to help. But yeah, so this space hopefully is the right space to inspire everybody and do what they're already doing more easily. Maybe it just makes their day a little better. In whatever little way it can make a difference, I hope we are able to do that. But thank you, Atul, for the opportunity to work with you and to be a very small part of the massive vision that you have and which you are moving along with massive force. And wish you all the very best for that. Thank you.
As we open a space designed for collaboration, our next session brings that spirit to life through a conversation across sectors. On stage, we will have leaders from the for-profit, innovation and investment world, alongside founders from the not-for-profit and social impact space. Together, they will represent different paths towards the same goal, which is of building institutions that scale and last. This is an exchange of perspectives from people working at different points in the impact ecosystem where capital, technology, and community intersects. Can I please welcome first Mr. Prashant Prakash, founding partner at Axel and one of India's early venture investors backing transformative startups. As founding partner at Axel India, he has been behind some of the country's most defining companies, Flipkart, Swiggy, Freshworks, Urban Company, among others. A founder himself before he became an investor and a Padma Shri awardee, he's proof that the best builders of ecosystems are those who never stop thinking like entrepreneurs. Please welcome Mr. Prashant Prakash. Can I next please invite Mr. Manish Dheer, board member of the Nudge, with a deep experience building and scaling global tech operations. He led Apple India as managing director, and before that he ran international operations at AOL across 40 countries and held senior roles at Netscape. He chose to bring that rare depth of experience to the board of the Nudge because he believes, as this center does, that technology's highest purpose is people. Please welcome Mr. Manish Dheer. They both are going to be in conversation today with Divya Hegde, founder of Beru Collective. Can I please invite Divya over to the stage? Beru means roots in Kannada, and Divya Hegde has spent her career going back to exactly that. A Google and Northwestern alumna, she founded India's first ocean waste recovery startup in 2021, partnering with fishermen to pull plastics from the sea, and with over 3,500 coastal women to turn that waste into livelihoods. Three-time UN Women Leadership Awardee, UNESCO recognized, IIM Bangalore incubated. Please welcome Divya Hegde. Next up, want to call over Manu Chopra, founder of Karya. While the AI industry was racing to build the most powerful models, Manu Chopra was asking a more important question: who gets to benefit? He co-founded Karya with one insight that rural Indians already have something AI desperately needs: their languages. Karya pays workers 20 times the minimum wage to generate speech data for Microsoft, Google, and others, and has moved over 1 lakh rural Indians out of extreme poverty. Time 100 most influential people in AI on the cover of Time. Please welcome Manu Chopra. Over to you for this dialogue. Really excited for this.
Before you start, I have one question. Is this on? Yeah. Okay. Prashant, are you going to take the keyboards and I take the drums, or vice versa?
Hi everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you Manish and Prashant sir for being here. Thank you Manu. Manu and I have decided to be greedy today, right?
Both of you are going to quiz us, is that? Oh, okay.
We hope to. So yeah, what we're going to try to do today is figure out with you folks, how do we go from the social sector or social enterprise being a nice to do thing to becoming a venture that can seriously be backed by folks like you. So that's the intention today. After having set the intention, my first question to you, Manish sir, is now the business world has a well-oiled machinery. The best business talent in India moves from corporate to startup to MNCs. And it's got the backup. We have headhunters, LinkedIn, and all of these platforms. The same pipeline rarely extends to the social enterprises. So what do we have to do? For example, if someone transitions from a leadership role from a technology company right into a social enterprise, usually the question is, oh, so what happened? Not, oh, you're doing the harder thing, you're doing the braver thing. So how do we transition social sector careers from being a compromise to a credential?
So I think maybe some context before that. Before coming here, I took the time to just see what the history of venture capital in India was. And of course, you'd probably be able to school me in this, so I don't want to say anything that, feel free to correct me. But apparently the first venture fund in India was set up in 1975, IFCI. And then another one in like the late 80s, which was ICICI Ventures with UTI as a JV. And then I think Sequoia and Norwest in 2000, and so on and so forth. My point in all of this being that as much as today we see that as a success, it's been a 50-year journey, right? And sometimes it's easy to forget that. And so I'd say that's one part of it. As part of my sort of little bit of due diligence in not appearing to be completely clueless at this August audience, I try to look up what's the state of social entrepreneurship in the country. And I don't know if either of you may be experts at this, but there's a report at the World Economic Forum from, I think, year before last, which says apparently there's 10 million social entrepreneurs in the world, of which 2 million are in India. And my question to myself was, where the heck are those 2 million people? Right? Because I mean, maybe my lens is a little bit myopic, which it very well might be. But in general, I'm not seeing the social impact of that level of people in this sector. So there's clearly something missing. I think talent is certainly a big part of that. Talent coming in, I mean, look at both of yourselves, right? I don't want to speak for you, Prashant, but it's fair to say that both of us entered this part of our journey relatively later in our careers, after some measure of, call it success or achievement in whatever our traditional career was. I think I applaud both of you and the many others in this room or who are represented by you, that you have taken this decision. I mean, most entrepreneurs today that I see in your space tend to be maybe mid-20s to early 30s. That just didn't happen merely 20, 30 years ago, right? So I think the good news is that that change is happening, which is why we have this August institution that Vijay has so kindly been a part of and Kamal has been a part of. But I do think that the talent piece is a chunk of it. Because what happens, and let me maybe ask Manu, because I have had a 3-year mentoring relationship with Manu, to the point where there have been 1 a.m. calls saying, can we talk? Right? And so that just goes to show what that mentoring in reality looks like. And I'm sure yours is probably no different, right? What do you think, Manu, of the scope of the talent shortage where you are?
I was not expecting the tables to be flipped.
That's the whole point.
But I think, see, I think the Nudge does this really well because, and we learn from Nudge, right? Being in the incubator and then the accelerator, seeing people from the industry, people with experience, with wisdom, coming into social impact organizations, learning, like bringing their experience, but also unlearning a bunch of things, right? Like the difference in running an impact organization versus running a typical business. But I do think that there is just so much experience in my own experience at Karya. I want to quickly fact check something in the introduction. We have not moved 100,000 people out of poverty. We work with 100,000 people, and I would love for the day to come when we would have moved all of them out of poverty, but we're not there yet. So that was just bothering me. But I think when we think deeply about, like even our journey at Karya, over the last 6 months, 1 year, we've brought in a lot of senior leaders into the team. Turns out they know what they're doing, right? Like experience is very valuable. Who knew? Yeah. And as the average age of the organization has gone from, which is something I track, from 22 to 24 to 26, I see us getting better in the work we do. My strategy is just to hire a lot of really expert people and then skew the average up. But I think in general, there is just so much wisdom on scaling businesses in this room across the country. And I think nonprofits can benefit so deeply from this. I still remember Nudge would bring in mentors to the incubator cohort. And I genuinely still remember the day the founder of Stell Apps came and talked about like how they were able to succeed in building a company that has raised traditional venture capital, is providing returns, but is also deeply impactful. And it, I think, expands your moral imagination as a young entrepreneur in what is possible. The famous quote, you cannot be what you don't see. And I think part of the job for incubators, accelerators, places like Spark is just to expand the possibilities. And bringing in talent does that.
Sure.
Now, of course, taking it from guest lectures and mentors to let's join the team together, that's always harder. But we've been lucky, and I think it'll be impossible for us to solve the big social problems in the country without the best talent in the country working on those problems.
So for a minute, I think that's the glass half full, right? Let me take a minute and say, here's a glass half empty. When was Karya started?
November of 2022.
Right, so it's been, call it 3.5, 4 years. You've had management team come in the last 6 months. Would it have been better or worse if they were in a year early?
Significantly better, right? Like, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think therein lies the challenge. And of course, we see that in the venture sector as well, which is most decisions, when taken, were sort of semi-obvious, and they're usually too late, not too early. But I think to your point, it's not just about when you take the decision, it's about how do you find the right people. And I won't name names here to protect the innocent or the guilty, right? But in general, the ability to find talent from especially the for-profit sector and bring them into the non-profit sector is very hit or miss because of a few things: motivational alignment, uh, empathy or lack thereof, and sometimes goal alignment, right? Which is the ideal nonprofit, at least the ones represented here, I think want to run like for-profits. They may have a social goal, but they want to run at the speed of a for-profit. And sometimes the people who want to join a nonprofit in a senior role have the exact opposite motivation, which is how do I do good, but with a high quality of life. And while we're not here to deny somebody a high quality of life, we want to run faster, right? And I think that's going to take some time. There is no shortcut to it. But it's just to acknowledge that there is a big gap in the landscape. I don't know what your personal experience to this has to say.
It's, as you rightly put, it's been hit or miss. And I think from a social enterprise point of view, the other thing that we often struggle with is we do want to give that great, not lifestyle, but quality of life to the people stepping into our organizations. But many times we are at different stages and we may not be able to match that. So then how do we either upgrade ourselves or ask them to meet us halfway is a constant question that we're trying to answer. Manu, do you have a question?
Oh, yes. Let's move to Prashant sir. So now that we have solved talent, social enterprises, often need different capital structures. You need grants for proof of concept, which Nudge provided to both the VNI. You need debt for working capital, potentially. You, of course, need equity for scale. What is missing in India's capital stack for social entrepreneurs? And in your experience, I think what makes some of these capital opportunities easily accessible, and what makes it really hard for social entrepreneurs to get access to?
Yeah. So, Manu, I think there's been an evolution, even in India, right? So there's capital structures that just didn't exist. And now we are seeing some of these structures, but in not too many places. But I think the definition of a social enterprise itself is blurring, right? And to some extent, I think that's a good thing, right? And you don't, of course, you don't want to make everybody kind of greenwash and make themselves look like a social enterprise. I don't think that's the thing that we want to happen. But I see a lot of belief in the mainstream ecosystem that as we move from urban convenience-based startups, I mean, so if you see all the unicorns, all the companies that have made money today, they've just tapped into 20, 30 million people wanting convenience at home, and that has helped them create 30, 50 billion in value. Just making sure you get things in 10 minutes and 5 minutes and whatever, right? But I think that is tapped out to a large extent. I think how many more protein powders, variations will you create? How many more, of these brands that will you create, right? So I think once you start moving towards Bharat, I think we are starting to see, I'll give you some early examples. Like there's Arivahan, which is, it's an AI-based test prep startup, right? Now, their AI is helping them make that tier 4, tier 5 town have the same level of access in terms of quality of test prep that somebody in tier 2, and at what cost? 200 rupees, right? So when it comes to accessibility, when it comes to pricing, I think there is a new change that's happening. And this is a social enterprise, but fundable from day one. Their first funding was a VC, but we are starting to also see a lot of enterprise. I mean, folks like Atul's organization, ACT, the other one which both of us have supported. Now, ACT does. Have you also been part of ACT? No, you know, no, fact.
We'll put in a good word.
Yeah, yeah. So ACT is a grant-based organization, but kind of engineered to then make what it takes to get them to scale and get them to then connect to the for-profit world. But what has not happened in India is blended capital. Why is that? That's where policy needs to change. I cannot create an AIF today very easily as a venture fund and actually operate an AIF with blended capital. SEBI just does not understand it. So how do I create two funds? Do I create two structures within an organization? How do I operate with this blended capital, right? So I think there are some policy related issues when it comes to blended capital, but I think we are starting to see debt instruments that have a different pricing to the instrument if it is applied to a social enterprise. So I think there's of course one fund that Satwa has created, right? And there's a couple other funds that I know that people are working on, where there is a different. I mean, people are willing to provide debt capital at a very different level. Now, the big thing that I want social entrepreneurs to look for now is innovation. How is innovation going to happen? With very easy capital, right? I mean, we don't have that kind of long-term gestation capital in this country, and that's where the RDI fund has a huge promise, and the use of the RDI fund could be for creation of any IP, and it can also be for buying IP. So you can, as a now a social enterprise, buy a global IP and apply it in India using the RDI fund. And what is the rate of interest of the RDI fund? 3%, 4%, right? So there is now, provided you have to, but it has to be for creating IP that will give the nation leverage, the IP that will give your social enterprise leverage. So there is a new thinking now that innovation cannot just happen from our universities and our academic institutions. That IP will take 10, 15 years, and as a nation, we don't have another 10, 15 years to have leverage. Today, we have zero leverage as a country when we go negotiate with anybody, right? Our neighboring country has all the leverage. Now, how do you change that? That has to also, I mean, that can't happen. I mean, why should that be only for the very commercial organizations, right? Social enterprises should be able to build IP now by taking advantage of a 30-year loan at 3% interest. Why not, right? And this is going live in the next 6 months. So there's some interesting things that are happening. And like I said, mainstream venture capital is going to start looking at some of these models for Bharat, because they're run out of models for urban India.
Thank you so much. That's fantastic answer.
Say a word on this, if you don't mind? And I don't speak from, Prashant's perspective, where you get to see sort of this at a much larger scale, but I get to see it from some of the, if you will, social entrepreneurs that I incubate or help incubate. I think there's also a challenge with the funding model that today we default to, which is typically where does Karya or other similar enterprises get their source of funds? From HNIs, from foundations, from incubators, accelerators. And really the attitude of those funds is it's not that you are not held accountable, but you're not held accountable to the same level of diligence as at-risk money, where somebody, in the for-profit scale, says, would be held accountable to. And I think that dichotomy need not exist, should not exist, and should go away. It's holding us back, right? I mean, because the social entrepreneur also need not be a non-profit entrepreneur. As long as the work you're doing advances the cause of society in some meaningful way, I don't think we should bear with us the cross of, well, therefore you should not benefit financially from that endeavor. I think if some amount of capitalism helps the outcome, that's not necessarily a bad thing in my books, right? And so finding that source of capital, be it debt, be it a different venture instrument, to me would go a long ways to changing the culture of both how social entrepreneurship is perceived, how social entrepreneurs perceive themselves, and how people who want to enter the ecosystem will possibly change their minds about the system.
So I'll just tell you one. I'm trying to also understand what the government is thinking, and I think there's a big mind shift change there. What were the first social enterprises in this country? PSUs, right? Government said PSUs are the best way to fund social causes in this country, and it could be for any multiple sectors, and Babus ran them. But now I think there's a clear thinking in the government, and that's related to the RDI fund, that it's only going to be possible through, like what Vijay was saying, through entrepreneurship in the country. That's going to happen not from PSUs, but from mainstream. And there, we are also, as a venture fund, seeing a big shift in, because, entrepreneurs are good, they smell money, right? So they're starting to see that in India, you don't have to, you can, there are enough social problems that if you solve them, there is a big ability to build value there. And so I think while maybe 5-10 years when Atul started, I think the entrepreneurs hadn't still figured out, he had to really work hard to get the right entrepreneurs here. But we get today 20-30% of the business plans that we get for Bharat. I would say a lot of them look like they could be social in many dimensions. Might be they don't get positioned all as social entrepreneurship, but like he said, they're creating impact at a very fundamental level. And if it works, it's going to benefit 1 million, 10 million people, right? If it scales. So those, and we have, I think S4S is also somebody that you worked with, right? So S4S is a very good example that we later funded. And they took almost 5 years to build their playbook. But because, and we have seen 2 other startups now that after seeing S4S's, so it's also playbooks once seen get replicated very fast in this. So I think this heavy lifting that Atul and Nudge have done in the first 5-10 years, it's starting to bear fruit now, where people are taking advantage of that playbook, which is now quite visible, and replicating it fast. And once that replication to scale is in reasonable amount of time, 5 years, 7 years, then venture funds just go all in. So I think we are at the cusp of that blurring, like I said, both from what governments are doing, what entrepreneurs are sensing as the opportunity, and of course VCs will go where the entrepreneurs go.
And I think, adding to that optimistic virtuous cycle we're describing is, from an AI perspective, the cost of intelligence crashing is incredible, right? So I think the amount of money companies would need, in my opinion, would
that's a whole other discussion on what and that's where this IP starts becoming important, right? If the IP is so trivial that you spin up 15 agents on Claude, and if it's going to do it, then doesn't matter if you're a social enterprise or a for-profit enterprise, you have no place 2 years from today, right? So the whole physical AI aspect, I think, is where social enterprises will also go.
I remember you often talk about you cannot expect the government to be solve for everything. And you talked about market shaping. And as folks who have been on both sides of the table, and Prashant sir, you are heading the Karnataka Vision Fund. You've been a successful bridge between the government, the entrepreneur, and funds. And you're talking about a playbook now. Do you think the social sector also needs perhaps like a NASCOM or a FICCI? Because when funds come into this sector, different funders have their own frameworks to evaluate social entrepreneurs. But investors in the business world already do have a playbook that they look at, be it unit economics or anything else. Do you think it's time for us to have those industry bodies? Because in the social sector, while all the policies impact us, we don't often see ourselves having a say in the shaping of those policies. While the business sector sits down with industry bodies, shapes policies, influences policies with the government.
Yeah, I'll start and then I'll give it to you. So I think we should start work upstream. It's where's the source of money? Because that source of money is what's going to dictate where you deploy it. So it's the LPs, the limited partners who invest in venture funds. I'll give you an example, BII, BII was called CDC before, and they rebranded. Now BII has a mandate for every venture fund that they invest, that a certain amount of their capital has to go into social startups. You could, so that blurring of capital is also happening at the venture fund level. So before you had impact funds, you had non-impact funds. But today, if you want capital as even a normal venture fund, and if you take money from some of these institutions, you have to deploy some of it in social enterprises. So I think if we can, as entrepreneurs, as an ecosystem, influence more of those LPs to put money into Indian venture funds, I think you'll naturally achieve that. That's one thought, yeah.
Time permitting, I'd just like to maybe take a minute to add to that. Are we okay on time? All right. So I think let's look at the through line on this, right? And I'll take Nudge as an example, with your permission, Atul, which is when he started Nudge, right? The goal was to lift 1 million people out of poverty. And then why did we start the accelerator and the incubator program? Because I think we realized that on our own, the rate of change by which we could get there was going to be infinitesimally long, because of structural issues and so many issues. And it was far better to find a more scalable model. And for us, it was to find other entrepreneurs and help them sort of increase the rate of change, right? To some extent, that's happening. But I think, and Atul has studied this extensively, our rate of even social entrepreneurship formation is far lower than, frankly, countries who are far less developed than us, right? So to your fundamental question of, are we missing a NASCOM or a FICCI or an XYZ? At some point, that may be the answer. But I think the initial answer is, let's get to a rate of change where that makes sense for everybody else. I mean, let's go back to how the IT revolution started, right? 1998, 99, Y2K was a catalyst. Between that and, say, call it 2005, there was a sea change in what was happening in the country around IT. And the best thing that the government could do was to keep its hands off of it, right? And then all these bodies came into existence, and they've helped shape kind of the outcome and liaison with the government. I look forward to the day when we have that kind of at least critical mass where that makes sense. My worry would be if you set up that body today, we don't have enough shining points of light or critical sort of proof points, it will die prematurely. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
I somehow have not seen a lot of value from these bodies. And so I just feel that entrepreneurs are the best role models, and other entrepreneurs quickly see it. And, you just have to create, like you said, a critical mass of those entrepreneurs. And what I'm, like I said, really very, very, excited these days is the number of entrepreneurs who want to solve these challenging problems. And let's take something like a sewage treatment kind of company today, right? It's what do you call it? It's a social enterprise. It's a not social enterprise. If they make it affordable, and if they have different pricing models for rural India and different pricing models for thing, would they solve it? This could be for many, many areas. So, and like I said, the low-hanging fruit of these conveniences, I'm coming back to that, is over. And really excited that these new challenges are so fungible in that sense, between them having applications. If they have to scale, you can't just do them in, it's not going to be a large enough company just to do it in a tier 1 or tier 2 city, right? You just have to solve it at different scale, whether it's air pollution, whether it's sewage, multiple areas. So, and we are seeing a lot of some of these. So there's one example I'll give you of a startup. They help in steel plants. It's very, steel plants need to get shut down for 3 days or 5 days. Every time somebody has to go clean the furnaces, right? Great place for robots. And even in that situation, when they do that, there's carcinogens that impact people who work in these steel plants, right? And so they're improving the bottom line, they're disrupting the way these steel plants work, and at the same time, they're creating impact. Now, this is happening from Coimbatore, and these robots are being deployed in steel plants in Europe first. And our Indian companies are, of course, following. So I think and like I said, I'm just really excited that we are at the cusp of this blurring of these opportunities making sense for mainstream VCs. So hopefully we'll never need a body, because it's, there's going to be many, many VCs who see value out of these social enterprises just becoming scale, getting to scale.
I think that blurring of lines is very exciting. You want to add something?
No, if I can, again, maybe just put a different perspective. I worked for a company where we had to put up retail stores all over the country. And one of our sort of criteria was there should be at least 1 million people in those cities, because that drove a certain level of demand. Now, it surprised me when we did the analysis, and this analysis was done maybe 10 years ago, that there were 50 plus cities with 1 million people each. Today, the number may be 75, 80, 100, right? So I would love to see the day when for every Manu and every Divya, there are an equal number of entrepreneurs from the 80th, 90th, and 100th city. Because then I know that we have broad-based the revolution.
That's a good segue to the final question. Sriram is dagger-eyeing me, so he's like, we have to wrap it up. Which is, what is your hope from the social entrepreneurs in the room, from the social entrepreneurship sector in India in the next 5 years? And any non-obvious ideas that, we've discussed capital, we know accelerators, incubators work. We're so lucky to have this center, to have a space. To the best of my knowledge, I think this is the very first space of its kind, and that's so exciting. Anything else we should see, and what is your hope for the next 5 years?
My hope is, these social enterprises make enough money for VCs, right? And really, I think that's what is going to get more VCs to fund them. And so why don't we see an S4S, or why don't we see one of them IPO in the next 3 years? I don't want to wait 5 years for an S4S to IPO. And there's like many of these, and they should get to unicorn status as social enterprises. And I think we are not too far away from that.
I love that.
I mean, I might say it differently, but I think the ultimate objective is the same. Have enough proof points out there that this becomes its own revolution. I think enough said.
Divya?
My hope? I hope we have enough money in the next 3 years, like you said. But thank you, both of you, for spending so much time with us today.
Thank you so much.
One sec, I'll just request you all to be on stage, please. Prashant, Manish, and Divya and Manu, you can go and be the cover for it. I mean, pick up a guitar, play the drums. All right. Yeah, can I please request Sriram, Managing Director and part of the initial team at the Nudge, to felicitate our guest today? Thank you so much for that conversation. That's exactly the kind of cross-pollination this center was built for. Next up, we have a very interesting performance next up, but we'll have to wait for 10-15 minutes for it. But I promise you it'll be worth it. Every space is an energy. Tonight we welcome an artist whose music carries purpose, environment, and global harmony. A 3-time Grammy winner and Padma Shri honoree, his music travels across continents and cultures. His compositions have topped the Billboard charts, and his work has been featured at global platforms, including the United Nations, where he serves as a United Nations Goodwill Ambassador. Next up is Ricky Cage. We have to set up the stage for this performance. Until then, we'll have a gap of 10 minutes. You can go quickly, get yourself a coffee maybe, but don't wander around too much. We want you to be back in time for the performance.
Internationally renowned Indian music composer and environmentalist, a U.S. Billboard #1 artist,
3 times Grammy Award winner. He's won over 100 awards.
Ricky Cage.
Ricky Cage, our champion for nature.
I take this opportunity to say thank you to Ricky Cage. Ricky has been inspiring and he is one of our champions.
My brother Ricky, I'm really proud of you as always.
And the Grammy goes to Winds of Samsara.
I'd like to thank the Recording Academy. Asatoma Satgamaya Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you.
And the Grammy goes to Stuart Copeland and Ricky.
In India, we've got a saying called as Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which literally means the world is one family. Live in peace with all entities on this planet, whether it is the animals, the wildlife, the forest.
Stuart Copeland, Divine Ties, and Ricky Cage.
Namaste and thank you. Climate change is absolutely real. Climate change is human-induced, and our actions are affecting countries on the other side of the world.
Dr. Ricky Gyan Cage.
And now, presenting 3-time Grammy Award winner, United Nations Goodwill Ambassador, Ricky Cage.
जागो जागो इंसानों के जागने का है ये समय देखना हो न जाए देर आने वाला जो कल होगा आज का ही वो पल होगा देना हमको दखल होगा कूचा कूचा पुकारे आओ मिलके जी सारे ना करो अनसुनारे Reach out, let us join hands and sing this world song. Reach out, let us join hands and sing this one song. Reach out, let us join hands and sing this world song. Reach out, let us join hands and sing this one song. Jago padharo, main jogan deva. Jago padharo, main jogan deva.
Takadari gidagadum gidagadum takadinna takidata gidagadum takadinna tarigidagada gidagadum tadagadum takadinna tarigidagada gidagadum takadinna takadigadagudum gidagadum gidagadum tarigidagadum tadagadum tarigidagadum gidagadum tarigidagadum tadagadum tarigidagadum tadagadum gidagadum
तू और मैं जो मिल जाए तो ना रहेगा फिर हम और वो सब करें तो जाएगा हो अब भी हम अगर चाहे तो बदलेंगे तकदीरों को देर ना कहीं जाए हो दरिया दरिया पुकारे नदियां करती इशारे ना करो अनसुनारे Let us join hands. Sing this one song. Sing this love song. One song. Reach out and sing this love song. Reach out, let us join hands and sing this love song. One song, one song, one song. Repeat after me. One song, one song, one song. Reach out, let us join hands and sing this earth song.
Loudly.
One more time, let's do it even louder. One song, one song, one song. Reach out, let us join hands and sing this earth song. singing with us. One song, one song, one song.
Come on, everyone.
Reach out, let us join hands and sing this earth song. Give it up for yourselves, Bengaluru.
Siddharth Basroor on vocals and guitar. A big round of applause to him. Karthik Mani on drums, on percussion, on vocals and various other sounds you're going to be hearing tonight. A big round of applause for him. Shraddha Ganesh on vocals, everyone. Shashank on guitar, everyone. Yelrigu Namaskara. You can respond to that. Yelrigu Namaskara. So it's a huge honor for all of us to be over here. Thank you so much for inviting us. Thank you. The reason why we are here is Nudge. So thank you so much to everybody from Nudge Foundation and of course Atul. Thank you so much. Everybody loves Atul. Who over here loves Atul? That's absolutely awesome. And I also figured out that people from Nudge are called Nudgesters. That's what I found out today. A big round of applause to every single Nudgester over here. Come on, everyone. And of course, a huge round of applause for the Pullur family for bringing all of us together over here today, for supporting this amazing initiative. A big round of applause to all of you. Just looking at the sheer numbers of this particular exercise, 250 entrepreneurs, being supported and, and these 250 entrepreneurs affecting the lives positively of over 100 million people. This is just mind-blowing and it's absolutely amazing. And of course, Total Environment, this beautiful firm, this beautiful real estate developers. In fact, personally for me, I feel that they are pretty much the only real estate developer in the whole world which has a very unique, distinctive design language. Because whenever you see a building, you immediately know if it is a total environment building. And it also helps that Kamal Sagar, is a very big fan of music and supports musicians all the time. So I think a big round of applause to all of these people, Nudge, to Pullur family, and of course to Total Environment. Now, we're going to play a few of our familiar songs and then we're going to have a little bit of a party over here. Would you like to party with us? Okay, we're going to get to that. So our next song is a song which is dedicated to water. And this song is a dedication to the great river Ganga. Now, through this song, follow the journey of the great river Ganga from where she takes birth in the Himalayas to where she completes her journey into the Bay of Bengal, nourishing hundreds of millions of lives along her way. This next song is called Ganga. Shraddha Ganesh, everybody, a big round of applause to her. Now, I'm really proud to be an Indian simply because we in India, we've lived in coexistence with the forests and wildlife for the longest period of time. In fact, we pray to our forests, we pray to our wildlife. And sort of emblematic or representative of this love that we have for our forests and wildlife is one particular animal, and that animal is the elephant. Who over here loves the elephant? Come on. Everybody except for the people taking pictures. But anyway, we all love the elephant, but with growing human need, with growing human population, with growing human greed, what we're doing is that we're destroying their homes, destroying their habitats, fragmenting their homes. And because of this, we've got something known as human and animal conflict, or rather, in this case, human and elephant conflict, which of course I'm preaching to the choir over here because all of you are already absolutely sensitized far more than I am. But nevertheless, this is a warlike situation between humans and elephants. And in this warlike situation between humans and elephants, there is loss of life and loss of property on both sides, on the human side and on the elephant side. But if there's loss of life or loss of property on the human side, then our authorities have to make the very painful decision to capture these elephants and to relocate them. Now, it is a very humane solution because you're just capturing and relocating the elephant. You're not actually killing the elephant like they do in a lot of other countries. But this capturing and relocation process itself is extremely traumatic, painful, excruciating, not just for the elephants involved, which is pretty obvious, but for every single human being involved, especially our Indian Forest Department. Now, being a United Nations Goodwill Ambassador, I've traveled to pretty much every corner of the globe. I've met foresters everywhere. And I can tell you this with full conviction, that our Indian Forest Department is the best forest department in the whole world. Take a big round of applause to them. You'll not find a bunch of more passionate people than our Indian Forest Department. So this next song is a dedication to our amazing Indian Forest Department. This next song is a dedication to the magnificent animal that is the elephant. Here is Kudrat.
Pullur
just because the elephant is the largest walking mammal on our planet, that does not mean that the elephant does not need our protection. In fact, it means the exact opposite, that the elephant actually needs our protection the most. Now, moving on, I'm going to say, this is a beautiful song about sustainable agriculture. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to say the first half of a phrase that is really important in India. And I want everybody over here to shout out the second half. Will you do that for me? I'll shout out the first half. Will you shout out the second half? Yes. Okay. Jai Jawan. Jai Jawan. Okay, let's try that again. Jai Jawan. Jai Jawan. Fantastic. For those of you who do not know, it is praise to the soldier, praise to the farmer. We've got tremendous respect for our armed forces. We've done numerous concerts for our armed forces across the length and breadth of India. But in addition to that, we've got tremendous respect for our farmers. In fact, this next song is a collaboration between us and the real working tribal farmers of India. Now, these tribal farmers have got amazing indigenous knowledge that has been passed down from generation to generation. But they also have songs that have been passed down from generation to generation. So we collaborated with these amazing tribal singing farmers on a song that is said to be more than 3,000 years old. And you will see them collaborating with us, these amazing singers and musician tribal farmers, on the big screen behind me. This next song is called Jai Kisan.
Titi kori kosili alokai kumigo tolo Nana kumigo tolo murto mai polo murto de polo Ane somote kai le bolo bolte loilai Benoni somote kai le bolo
मिट्टी में वो अपने सपने हैं और सीध प्यार से जीना वो जीना जो कुदरत के साथ में कितना हंसी ये मौका है तो रहे जागरूक और सही है जो वो हम खड़े हो जिंदगी के साथ सब एक साथ यही है मौका यही है मौका पीछे अब न देखना रात थी यहाँ पर हो रहा है अब तो सवेरा हमने तो ये सीखा कुदरत को है पता हम सबको चाहिए क्या कितना हंसी ये मौका है तो रहे जागरूक और सही है जो वो करे हम खड़े हो जिंदगी के साथ सब एक साथ यही है मौका यही है मौका
A big round of applause for the tribal farmers of India, everyone. You can do better than that. Come on. Thank you so much. So along with being a beautiful event over here today, with all of you amazing people creating so much of impact all over India, it's also another day today. Can somebody shout out what that day is today? What is it? Okay, let's say shout it out together. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. I mean, is anybody in love over here? Good question. Anyway, maybe in love with the right people or the wrong people or whatever. But nevertheless, what we did was that we created a song just 2 days ago. And we thought today would be a great time to present it for all of you. This is the first time ever that we are performing it live. So would you like to listen to a song that we've never played before ever? So this song is dedicated to all of you, everyone who celebrates Valentine's Day and everyone who probably does not. Here is our brand new song. We've not even recorded it. This is our first ever performance of this song. It's called Balma Re.
झलके मोरा दिल होए बेकाबू सा
संग चलत रहो तुम रात भर सजनवा तोरे नैन मोरा चैन चुरा ले तेरी बातन में मीठी सी हरियाली दिल ये डोले जैसे पनघट की पनहारी चांदनी में भी तू जियारा लगे तेरी हंसी पे तो जग सारा लगे चलो नैया सपनों की बहाए आज रंग जगा दे ऐसी कोई सा संग चलत रहो तुम रात भर सजना पल मारे तोरे नैन मोरा चैन चुरा ले मोरा चैन चुरा ले
So do you think we should release the song? Do you think we should put it out? Okay, y'all heard it first over here. Thank you so much for being our first audience for that song. Thank you so much for that. Karthik, what are you doing over here?
Well, I just thought since they're all singing, why don't I sing as well?
Oh, you want to sing?
Yeah?
Okay, go ahead.
You guys like to hear me sing? In a language called Konakol. Let's try something together.
Yeah, it's Bangalore. People know what's Konakol.
Yeah. Ta-ka-di-na.
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 Tak-ka-di-na, tak-ka-di-na.
Ta-ka-di-na, ta-ka-di-na.
Tak-ka-di-na, tak-ka-di-na.
Ta-ka-di-na, ta-ka-di-na.
Taka-taka-dina-dina. Taka-taka-dina-dina.
Taka-taka-dina-dina.
Dina dina taka taka dina dina taka taka.
Dina dina taka taka dina dina taka taka.
Taka dina taka dina dina taka dina dina.
Something dina.
After that you can join online class.
Very funny. But yeah, this is a song that we've started performing at all our concerts. It was actually a song that we created about 19 years ago. And we never performed it. And then through the magic of social media, it had a resurgence, went viral. So we decided, why not perform it at our concerts? This is quite a crazy song. It's called Dub Kunakol. Karthik Mani, everyone. Shashank on guitar. Siddharth Basrur on guitar. A big round of applause to these three magicians. Come on. Okay. Now what we're going to do is that the party is getting started right now, so you're going to get up and dance with us for this one. This is basically an ancient folk song. In fact, I would say that it's the most famous folk song ever to come out of this region of the world. The most famous folk song ever to come out of here, but of course we're going to be performing it in our own very modern rendition. This is our version of the famous, the timeless folk classic. This one's called Damadam Mast Kalandar.
कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा पहला नंबर दमादम मस्त कलंदर सभी शाहबाज कलंदर ओ लाल मेरी पत रखियो भला झूले लालन सिंधड़ी दा देवर दा सखी शाहबाज कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा पहला नंबर दमादम मस्त कलंदर कलंदर लाल कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर सभी शाहबाज कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दम नन्हे अंदर ओ लाल मेरी है लाल मेरी जनन जनन तेरी नौबत बाजे जनन जनन तेरी नौबत बाजे नाड़ बजे घड़ी यल बला झूले लालन ओ नाड़ बजे घड़ी यल बला झूले लालन सिंधड़ी दा सेवन दा सकी शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा पहला नंबर दमादम मस्त कलंदर सखी शाहबाज कलंदर ओ लाल मेरी पत रखियो भला झूले लालन सिंधड़ी दा सेवन दा सखी शाहबाज कलंदर
Now everybody stand up where you are. Come on. Everyone stand up and clap. Come on, everyone. Including the VIPs.
दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा पहला नंबर दमादम मस्त कलंदर सखी शाहबाज कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दम नन्हे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली शाहबाज कलंदर दमादम मस्त 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 कलंदर
Almost.
दमादम
Jump everyone. Now all of you.
दमादम मस्त कलंदर सखी शाहबाज कलंदर बाज कलंदर अली दम नन्हे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर
A big round of applause to all of you. Come on. Now continue standing because we've got a Punjabi song for you. Do you want something in Punjabi? Come on, teach them the song.
Alright, this is really complicated, so I want you guys to pay very, very close attention. Alright? Just 2 phrases. But I want you to pay attention. Are you with me? Alright, the first phrase is oh ho! What's that?
Wonderful.
What's that? And the second phrase is hi hi! Hi hi! Hi hi! What's the first phrase? What's the second phrase? Oh good naal ishq mita. Oh good naal ishq mita. Oh rabba lage na kise nu jaave good naal ishq mita. You guys ready or what? गुड़ नाल इश्क मिटा गुड़ नाल इश्क मिटा हाय हाय रब्बा लगे न किसे नू जावे गुड़ नाल इश्क मिटा गुड़ नाल इश्क मिटा गुड़ नाल इश्क मिटा हाय हाय रब्बा लगे न किसे नू जावे गुड़ नाल इश्क मिटा जय इश्क मिठा गुड़ नाल इश्क मिठा हाय हाय ओ रब्बा लगे ना किसे नू जावे गुड़ नाल इश्क मिठा गुड़ नाल इश्क मिठा गुड़ नाल इश्क मिठा हाय हाय ओ रब्बा लगे ना किसे नू जावे गुड़ नाल इश्क मिठा लड्डू खाला बाणी दे लड्डू खाला बाणी दे हाय हाय गन्ने चुबला जटा दे बोले लड्डू खाला बाणी दे लड्डू खाला बाणी दे लड्डू खाला बाणी दे हाय हाय गन्ने चुबला जटा दे बोले लड्डू खाला बाणी दे गुड़ नाल इश्क मिठा गुड़ नाल इश्क मिठा हाय हाय रब्बा लगे ना किसे नू जावे गुड़ नाल इश्क मिठा गुड़ नाल इश्क मिठा गुड़ नाल इश्क मिठा हाय हाय रब्बा लगे ना किसे नू जावे गुड़ नाल इश्क मिठा Looking so sweet, make me come back for more. Hi, hi. She's the kind of girl who likes to settle the score. Looking so sweet, make me come back for more. She's the kind of girl who likes to settle the score. Every moment, every beat, got me dancing on my feet. With every move so sweet, she'll make me feel the heat. Good night, she come me down. Good night, she come me down. Hi, hi. Rabba lage na kise nu jaave. Good night, she come me down. Good night, she come me down. Good night, she come me down. Hi, hi. Rabba lage na kise nu jaave. Good night, she come me down. Good night, she come me down. Good night, she come me down. Hi, hi. Rabba lage na kise nu jaave. Good night, she come me down. Good night, she come me down. Good night, she come me down. Hi, hi. Rabba lage na kise nu jaave. Good night, she come me down.
Thank you so much. And we are coming to the end of the show. Sid, why don't you teach everybody our last song for today?
All right. Are you guys still in the mood to sing along? I see a lot of people sitting down. I mean, it's fine, but you know, you're more than welcome to stand up and party because this is probably our last song for the evening, right? All right. This is as easy as the last one. I sing, you repeat. Capiche? Can you get that chord one more time, please? Oh, ho, oh, ho, oh, ho,
Beautiful.
oh, ho. And how about we make this a little more interesting? Shraddha,
Yes.
how about you take this side of the audience?
Okay.
I take this side of the audience, and we'll see, with a little friendly competition, who does better.
Are you guys ready? We have to beat them.
I mean, I'd say dinner's on me, but there's food already being served. All right, so here goes. Should I go first? Or wait, ladies first.
Okay, you guys ready? All right. Oh, ho, ho. Come on, I think we can do better than that. Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho. Think you guys can beat us?
Do you guys think you have it in you? Yeah, I see the horns right there. Oh, ho. Oh, ho. Oh, ho. Oh, ho. Wow, these guys are amazing.
But I think the
Right?
Pullur Centre is all about collaboration.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
this
why
is
don't
it.
we just do this together, right?
Do it
One
together.
big family,
One
one
big
big
family.
collaboration. You guys all ready to sing along with us tonight? Amazing. Oh, ho. Oh, ho. Oh, ho. Oh, ho.
Beautiful. Now, all of y'all have got cell phones. I'm sure everybody in this audience has one. Pull out your cell phones. Come on and turn on your torches. Yeah, I can see a few of you, a few more. And it's very important that you do this today. And I'll explain to you why. A few more torches. If you've got a phone that does not have a torch, I've heard that Whitefield has got a lot of museums where you can deposit your phone. Come on, a few more. Because this song is about the Nudge Foundation, about the Pullur Centre, about everybody involved, shining your light on everyone around you. And this song is called Shine Your Light.
Whoa, sing along! Whoa, whoa, whoa. हम सब साथ यहाँ है, हम सब साथ यहाँ है, कोई फर्क कहाँ है, फर्क कहाँ है? Scream, hey! One more! हाथ बढ़ाए, चलो सबको दिखाए, चलो हाथ
One more loudly!
चलो सबको बताए, कोई भी यहाँ अकेला ना है. It's time, let's do this, it's our time. Let's do this, it is time to shine your light. Let's do this, it is time to shine your light. Sing along! Whoa, 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 whoa. It is time to shine your light. मैं जो साथ निभाऊं, तू जो साथ निभाए, तो बात बन जाए, तो ये रात ढल जाए. मैं जो साथ निभाऊं, तू जो साथ निभाए, तो बात बन जाए, तो ये रात ढल जाए.
Scream, hey!
Hey! चलो हाथ बढ़ाए, चलो सबको दिखाए, चलो हाथ बढ़ाए, चलो सबको बताए, कोई भी यहाँ अकेला ना है. It's time, let's do this, it's our time. Let's do this, it is time to shine a light. Let's do this, it is time to shine your light. Come on, everybody, sing along! It is time
Karthik Mani on drums and percussion, everyone. Shraddha Ganesh on vocals. Siddharth Basrur on vocals and guitar. Shashank on guitar. And Praveen on sound over there. A big round of applause to all of them. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Ricky Kay! Now, we've come to the end of the concert, but we've saved a short segment and we've saved the best for the last. India as a country is much more than just us human beings. Am I right? Am I right? In fact, the true inhabitants of India are the forests and wildlife, because the forests and wildlife have existed on our land long before any of us humans have ever set foot here. Am I right? We human beings have been here for 3 lakh years. Our forests and wildlife have been here for 3,000 lakh years. Whereas 3 lakh years, whereas 3,000 lakh years. Our beauty is defined by forests and wildlife. Our sustainability is defined by forests and wildlife. And without beautiful functioning ecosystems, we as humans will cease to exist. So we took our favorite tune in the whole world, our absolute favorite tune in the whole world, the Indian National Anthem. And we decided to create an instrumental version of it. But today we're going to be singing it for you. And we decided to dedicate this version of the National Anthem to the forests and wildlife of our nation. So if you would please indulge me, if you're physically able to stand up, let us all rise in respect for the forests and wildlife of our nation. Let us all rise in respect for the Indian National Anthem. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, everybody. You all have been an absolutely wonderful audience. It has been an honor to perform for you. Go out and create all the impact that you're supposed to. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great rest of the evening.
What an exhilarating performance and what a powerful way to begin this space. May I please request all of you to just be on stage. Thank you so much, Ricky Cage, Shraddha Ganesh, Karthik Mani, Siddharth Basur, Shashank Akela, and Praveen Kumar. Thank you. Can I please now request Krishna, our CHRO for the Nudge Foundation, to come on stage to felicitate our guests. Request you all to just join us, please. Thank you. And Praveen, we'll get you one backstage, but please come on. Round of applause for Praveen, please. He was on all sounds. Praveen will get you something backstage. Thanks so much. Thank you. Welcome to this park, Pullur Centre, where conversations compound into change. Thank you all.